month we're going to talk about discovering God's grace in your life. You know, I never think about grace without thinking of an old donkey called Maggie. We lived on a farm and my mother decided that we needed a donkey. She'd had donkeys in her childhood in England. So we went to a donkey rescue farm and we found ourselves a lovely little lively donkey called Lexy. And then the owner said to us, you know, donkeys like company. Maybe you'd better have another one. And we kind of blanched because they were a bit expensive and said, I'll give you one. So along came Maggie. And Maggie was an old gray donkey. The owner thought she might have been about 45 years old. And Maggie came along and her head was hanging and she looked very sad and she didn't look at any of us, and she had big black feet and mange on her back where some kind of flea powder hadn't worked, and my heart sank. But we decided we'd take Maggie. So we loaded her on the truck and brought her back to the farm, and we let the donkeys loose, and Lexy took off. Oh, she was up under the apple tree. She was in the field. She was checking out the stream. She was in the barn. And Maggie stood in the yard, head down, and didn't look around. Do you know it was nearly a year before Maggie began to enjoy all the benefits of the farm? I think she was afraid of getting too used to them in case they'd been taken away from her. It was pretty obvious that in her earlier life she'd had a terrible time and had been badly abused. But after that year, there was Maggie under the apple tree or down by the stream, first one there in the spring when the green grass came out. And then about 5 years later, Maggie died. And we found her in the spring, and I still get a little teary-eyed on this one, under the apple tree, with a wisp of green grass in her mouth, and she had just laid down and died. But she died in the grace that I had given her. You see, grace is a gift from God. You can't earn it. You can't work for it. You can't sign up for it. Grace is the feeling of God's presence with us and all the joy and the benefits that brings. The fullness of our lives, the richness of our lives, all come through God's grace. We can all have that, but so many of us, like Maggie, are afraid to let go of the past and all the disappointments and fears and things that have happened to us and simply accept this free gift. And when we finally do, realize that it is for us and we begin to accept it, like Maggie, I guess you could say we live under the apple tree, enjoying all that God has given to us. So that's what we're going to look at this month. How to enjoy God's grace in your life, regardless of where you are right now or what is happening to you, how to find it, how to enjoy it. We're going to have a really interesting month.